Live from Bali, tap in. I almost died 10 years ago and Bali saved my life. That's why a lot of people ask, like, why did you choose Bali? So let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Hello everybody. This is very different. I've never done a live like while walking. So I'm actually I just dropped my daughter off at school and I'm about to walk down this way because I've never been this way before, down that way. So as you can see, there's like a restaurant here. There's like a cafe a little further down. My daughter's school has like cafes all in the school, but I'm not in the campus right now. So come on in, everybody. Come on in. Come walk with me. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. So moving out of the country is, as you all can imagine, it's a huge move. It's a big move for anybody. For I would imagine for everybody that would be challenging. It would be uncomfortable, right? But what I want y'all to understand about me is that my whole life has been uncomfortable. My entire life has been uncomfortable, and so I've mastered fighting through and pushing through the discomfort, right? Because a lot of people ask, were you nervous or were you scared? You know, I'm a very fearless being. I attack things. Not that I don't have fear, not that I don't have these emotions. It's just that when I decide that I want something, I know that I have the power to attain it, right? And I feel like a lot of us don't feel like we have that power, and so we feel stuck. So 10 years ago, I was a hair professional behind the chair. And I was just coming from Atlanta, and I had experienced being homeless. And so I lived in the car with my 1-year-old and my 5-year-old sons. Okay. Yes, I did. I made it. I moved. Yes. So I lived in the car with my 1 and 5-year-old son. As you can imagine, we don't even have to talk about being homeless. what type of feeling, just imagine, okay, with your kids. And so we also lived in a stranger's house off Craigslist. So I'm coming from that, feeling like a failure as a mother. And in my mind, I'm never going to end up in that situation again, right? So what do? What do we all do? We allow fear to control us, right? And so I was working inhumanly. I was working as a single mother of 2, 6 days a week. It's only 7 days in a week. 6 days a week, 16-hour days. 16-hour days, literally. No breaks, all gas, barely eating sometimes, barely drinking, body is falling apart. I'm literally sick. I'm actually dying as I'm going through this act, right? As I'm allowing fear to guide me, and I'm just being an extreme workaholic. I mean, extreme. You know, I think back to how could I even do myself like that, right? But stick with me. So eventually I got sick. My body gave up on me. Okay. Shut down completely. I can remember I had a client that was coming from out of town. She was from Chicago, and I was doing her abracadabra 6 months in. And I gotta get done. But when I tell y'all I was so sick, I remember it like it was yesterday. I was linked over on the stage. I kept thinking to myself, how in the world am I going to get this lady out this chair? I had never felt so bad in my, like I literally felt like I was about to die, right? Stick with me because I'm going to tell you what was going on. So if you're just not joining me, a lot of people ask, like, why did you choose Bali? So I'm kind of breaking this down for you guys, and hopefully you can get some value from it. So I'm literally dying. I feel so sick. By the grace of God, I got this lady done. She looked great. So I hopped in the chair. When I tell you, in the car. So when I tell you, oh, I never went down this way. When I hopped in the car, I had to drive myself to urgent care, which was literally only 5 minutes down the road, but I felt like it was 5 hours. I was so sick. Y'all, like, what kind of warrior beast like energy do I have to like get myself? Like, I should have been on an ambulance. That's how sick I was, right? I get to urgent care. My fever is 105 degrees. 105. They do my test. They say, oh, you have influenza A, which is like one of the worst ones. It's like bird flu or something like that. Immediately, I'm talking about stuff shutting down, everything, organs shutting down. And it's just the flu. Stick with me. I had 2 more severe illnesses that came up, right? We just started with the flu. Hi, how are you? So 105 fever, they get the ambulance, rush me to the hospital because everything is shutting down, right? And so y'all, I was hospitalized for 3 months in pure agony. Not pain. Pain is an understatement. I was in agony. I had excruciating, it felt like my brain was going to explode. My lungs, because then I got pneumonia, my lungs felt like I literally couldn't find relief. There was never a moment without pain, like excruciating pain. I went weeks without sleeping. I went months without eating. I was sick. I was only 30. I was so sick. I was so sick that I was out my mind. Like, my mind was I was delirious. Like, I was not present. I was sick. My mother is not a nurturer. Even my mother had her hands on me. Right? I didn't know I would live. I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't know I would live. It was that bad. In fact, I didn't even want to live. I can remember after a month of being sick, they released me out the hospital because I guess they like, all right, we getting tired of you. Right? So they released me out of the hospital and I went home. I was so sick. I still can't understand, why did they put me out of this hospital? I remember calling the hotline like, I just want to die. Like, nobody should be able to live like this. So I just wanted to paint a picture of how bad this sickness really was. So this is where Bali comes in. So after a month, they let me back in the hospital. I don't know if you've ever been through something so much that you kind of like give up a little bit. So I just kind of accepted that I'm sick and I just may not live through this. Because then tonsillitis came. So I had the flu, I had pneumonia, and I had tonsillitis. All in 105 fever that wouldn't break for 2 weeks. Can you imagine what I did to my body at 30 years old as a relatively healthy person? Can you imagine how much I had to work to run my body to the ground like that, to where it would give up like that? Sick, just sick. So I'm in the hospital. There's a picture. I don't know if it was a magazine. This is what I can't remember. I don't know if it was a magazine or if it was my phone. Because 10 years ago, I don't know, phones weren't 10 years ago. Yeah, I think we had phones then. So it may have been a phone, but I ran across a picture. It was a picture of like the Bali swing. So it was this lady in this red dress and she was on the Bali swing, and then you just saw all this nature, trees, jungle like in the background, right? Here's the full circle moment. I didn't even know it was Bali at the time. I had no idea where that was. But that picture single-handedly, with the exception of my kids, and I'm going to even go as far as say, yeah, my kids, obviously you want to live for your kids, but I was so sick, and like it was almost like I wasn't myself, I wasn't present, and nothing mattered but what was in front of me. And at this time, I stared at this picture for all day, every day. Literally, I meditated on this picture. I can remember thinking, Lord, if you could just keep me alive, I just want to be there. Like, can I be there? Like, this just looks so peaceful. It looks so serene. I just want to be there. I didn't know it was Bali, right? So if you're just now joining me, I relocated to Bali, Indonesia. And sorry y'all hear the roosters. I'm walking through nature right now, but this is where people live. My daughter's school is along this path here. So she goes to school called the Green School, and it's in nature. Like the whole campus is made out of like bamboo. So there's no walls. Obviously they have things that they're under, like class is huge, like gyms and classrooms and auditoriums and all kind of stuff at this school. But so I had never walked down this way, and I never did live walking either. So this is fun. But I just wanted to kind of walk down and see, and it just seemed like it's just like more locals down this way. So if you're just now joining me, I relocated to Bali. And if you know me, you know I built a whole empire in St. Louis, Missouri. Like big businesses, okay? And so, but there's a lot of people that don't know who I am. And so they're just curious, like, why did you choose Bali? And so the real question is, why did Bali choose me? Because like I was explaining, I was on my deathbed. I didn't think that I didn't think that I would live. I don't think any of us thought that I would live past that. It was just so bad. I lost 40 pounds. I wasn't eating. I was just sick, just sick and in pain. And so this picture of Bali that I didn't know was Bali at the time literally kept me alive. And 10 years later, I'm here. It is unreal. Unreal. So I honestly feel like Bali chose me. Honestly. But if we want to just kind of stay on the surface, because it can get a little deep, join my subscription because I'm going to be going deep. There's so much more to this story. But if you want to stay kind of like on the surface, I wanted to create a life that I did not have to take vacations from. Right? A lot of us go on vacations. Think about this, y'all. Think about this. A lot of us go on vacations and we feel, our soul just feels so amazing, so free, right? Why couldn't that be life? Sit on that for a second. Why is it that vacations are in the sky somewhere, like unreachable, like unattainable, almost like in the galaxy somewhere, in space, like it's separate, like it's all the way over there? You know what I mean? Like maybe I'll get to it, maybe I don't. You know what I'm saying? And I said, I want to create a life for myself. Oh, this is another cafe. So I'm at my daughter's schools, and there's like cafes along the road to her school. But I thought, why couldn't that be my life? Like, if it hurt me that bad to leave, you know, somewhere that makes me feel so free, so at peace, that gives me so much joy, why couldn't that be my life? Think about that. Think about it. So I said, you know what? I woke up in December. Oh, okay. So here we go. In December, I can't remember what day it was. It was the end of the year. I won't even go as far as to say it was January. So the new year had begun. So, and stick with me, because I'm actually tell you the surface level reason of why I moved to Bali and why it's so unreal right now. So when I was sleeping, I kept hearing Bali, 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 Bali. I was asleep. I kept hearing Bali, Bali, Bali. And you know, when you're sleeping and you're having dreams, normally when you wake up, it go away, right? It didn't. I woke up and I kept hearing Bali, 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 right? This was the top of January. And so I picked up, you know how like when you pick up your phone, this is like another little cafe here too, y'all. This is my daughter's school. That's one of the entrances there. And then there's another entrance down here. So I told you it's made out of bamboo. So they're in nature. They learn in nature, which is one of the reasons why I'm here. But anyway, I picked up my phone. You know how like when you pick up your phone, like your phone would like automatically be on the last thing that you were looking at, you know, the last time you had your phone open. So I picked up the phone. It had the last thing that, you know, was on it, but then it changed in a split of a second. And then boom, it was this man on like YouTube talking about Bali and the lifestyle in Bali, right? And so right as my soul had been in a space where I was wanting to be free. You know what I mean? I was wanting something different. I was wanting to live. I'm going to say that. We're not living. We're not living. We're not. A lot of us are not living. I think ever since we were born, we were told who we are, what to do, how to do it, the best way it's supposed to go. But none of us really know the true essence of why we're really here. It's actually kind of sad. But my soul was wanting something. Like when you know when you out of alignment, when something just don't feel right, when something doesn't feel good, you know that you're out of alignment, and your only job is to figure out and ask yourself, what is it about this feeling that it's not serving me, and where do I believe it's coming from? You can, if you ask yourself, you will get the answers. You'll get the answers. You know, obviously you want to pray, you want to meditate on it, you want to journal, because a lot of things come up when you're journaling. But I know for me, my soul needed, my soul was communicating with me so much. I need something different. It's time to live. I have been a workaholic my entire life, and I never lived. I never lived. I didn't even know how to live. I had no idea how to live. Some of us are really like that. Like we are so caught up in our responsibilities and grinding, and taking care of this person, taking care of that person, trying to please this person, don't want to disappoint this person, doing this, all these new ventures. We're just on autopilot like robots. I didn't want that anymore. And if you can tap in to that communication with your soul, telling you this is not what I want, and you also have the belief system that you have the power to create the world that you want to live in, why couldn't you do something big as move across the world? Right? Here's the thing though, here's a trick. If you ask for something, you gotta be willing to let go of the things that you're attached to that's no longer serving you. So some of us want B, but aren't willing to give up A. And that's a hard task. That's a very hard task for a lot of us. When you're emotionally attached to something, or if something is attached to your identity, it's very hard to let it go. Because if it's attached to your identity, then who are you if you release it? You don't know. And we don't like to not know. None of us like to go without not knowing. That's our problem. We feel like we got to know everything. We feel like we got to be in control of everything. Right? So I decided I wanted a life I didn't have to take vacations from. I by trade am a cosmetologist. I was licensed and behind the chair since 2007 to 2020. So what's that? 13 years. 13 years. I retired from behind the chair in 2020. So I have not did hair since in 4 years. I have been working from home, running a digital online business, and I had a salon and a hair loss clinic. Right? Sorry. I had a salon and a hair loss clinic. But here's the thing. I was on a 7-day dry fast. No water, no food. I know that may be hard to wrap your head around, but let me say it again. No water, no food. It's something that I have incorporated in my life ever since that near-death experience. When I want to clear my body out, clear mucus and parasites and bacteria and viruses and things that don't serve my body out of my body, I'm going to fast. But most importantly, when I need to get clear on something, I'm going to fast. If I feel like my soul is hurting, I'm going to fast. Okay? 7-day dry fast. On the 4th day, God said, close the salon. What? Close my 10-year salon, successful salon. Close it. Now, it makes sense why I had to do that. But when I was told to do that, when my spirit guided me to do that, I didn't know that I would move across the country a year and a half later. I didn't know that. That's why it's important to listen to your guidance. It may not feel good. It may not look good. That doesn't mean that it's not serving your higher good. I need y'all to understand that. This was not an easy task. There was a plethora. My whole life I had to release in order to get here, in order to really feel like free, right? And again, I'm trying to give y'all an entire year, or really an entire lifetime in a very short amount of time. This is why you need to join my subscription, because we're going to be diving deeper. This is a deep story, and everybody is not ready for it. I'm giving y'all the appetizer right now. I'm giving y'all the appetizer right now, because we really don't have time to go deeper, and some of y'all not ready. Okay, so like I said, I woke up and I just said, I want a life that I didn't have to take a vacation from. And because I was so connected to Bali, for whatever reason, I was listening to my guidance. I'm not in control. You don't just up and say you want to be somewhere. And I had never even visited. I had never even been here. I had already decided that's where I'm going before I even visited. So this was in January. February 20th is when I went to go visit. I said, you know what? I did some research. I was looking some things up. And I was like, okay, like it's resonating. It's resonating. I feel good about it. There's some synergy with the thought of the idea of doing this. And so February 20th, I came to visit, and I was like, I get it. I totally get it. Why I'm being supported and pushed to be here. Right. And so on the surface level, what are some reasons why I moved to Bali? One, there's 4 million people on this island, and there's no crime. There's no crime. I'm in one of the St. Louis. I'm in one of the most dangerous cities, St. Louis, Missouri. Okay, it's been in the top 10 for crimes several, so many times, right? And not that I walked around with fear, but I feel like to me, you can create the world that you want to live in, right? I was like, what if I can have a world where there's no crime? What if I can be, I never even heard of it before. I would have bet my life on the line that every single place has crime. This place does not have crime. So God, you leading me to a place where there's no crime? Wow. You must really want me to be protected. I must got a big old mission coming. If God led me to a place where there is no crime, oh, I gotta be protected. I got something big I got to do, right? It's like, but really, spiritually, I'm already knowing this though. God said it's done. Like, it's time to speak through you. It's time to write through you. Right? So I'm already know on a deeper level. Subscription people, you'll get it. Like, we're going to be here. Subscription family, I'll talk more about that there. But there's no crime. So that's one of the reasons why I chose Bali. 2, the fruits have seeds. All the fruits have seeds. Even the bananas have seeds. Did you know banana had seeds? Probably didn't even know that. And so if you know me, you know that my company is Abracadabra Hair and Healing. Although I just changed my name to Abra McField because I'm restructuring some things in my business company. And so if you want to follow my product page, AK Hair Growth is the page for that now. I talk a lot about nutrition and how it plays a role in the functionality of your hair and your scalp, your skin, all of those things. But my focus is more so the hair. Nutrition is very important. Ever since I was on my 3-month hospitalization near deathbed, when you have a point in your time where you feel like you're about to die, you start looking at life differently. You no longer looked at life the same. So after that, I became Abra 2.0. Right now, I'm Abra 3.0. Okay? But then is when I decided, oh no, I'm not playing with my life no more. So that's why y'all see me. I'm a plant-based eater. I don't eat meat. I don't eat cheese. I don't dairy. I try to stay away from as much processed foods as possible, which is another reason why I moved to Bali. So you can go to restaurant, like for example, here. Let me get closer. It's my little moped, y'all. I ride a motorbike, so I'll explain that in a second. So here, for example, we have a cafe here, right? I had a meal. Hey, what's up, Danielle Michelle? Right on time, sister. So, here, cafe, right outside of my daughter's school. So this is my daughter's school right here. This is one of the entrances down there. There's another entrance down there. So there's a cafe. I passed that, but this is a restaurant. I'm sorry, this is a restaurant. So right now, I can go there and I can get a whole meal, fresh, organic. The other day I had like teriyaki tofu. I had brown rice, whole grain rice. I had like steamed vegetables, and I had like a salad, like a cabbage salad. $2. $2. $2. Did y'all hear what I said? $2? So you mean to tell me I can pop up to any restaurant and eat as healthy as I want, as I desire, as my body desires, and I'm gonna spend $2, $3 for my meal? What? As I'm even saying it, I've been here for almost a month. It's still shocking to me. Everywhere. I can go right here and I can go right here to this cafe and get a smoothie. My daughter first day of school, when we came to visit, we got a smoothie, a strawberry banana smoothie. So good. We got a fresh orange and pineapple juice. Fresh. And we got a croissant. $4. $4. Y'all want me to move that? Move it? Okay. $4. Do you know what I have been through as a single mother in St. Louis, Missouri, in America, trying to eat healthy? Wow. So if you're just not joining me, a lot of people have been asking, why did you choose Bali? So I'm just explaining to you, if you missed this live, I'm going to put it on the page. You need to go back and see. If you want any type of, if you want your soul to be just set on fire in a good way, if you want a light to be ignited, go back and watch this live, because I know a lot of y'all can resonate. I know it. This is not just a me problem. This is a all of us problem. Look at my son. Hi, son. Y'all, that's my baby Reese production, y'all. Reese_production. That is my 15-year-old son. If you don't know, I'm a single mother of 3 kids. 19, he's in college. 15, he's here, right here, Reese Production. Make sure y'all go follow him, because he is an actor and a writer. He's working on his book right now, and we are going to be publishing it. And he's not with me, unfortunately. We were talking about him coming, but ultimately we decided that he would stay with my brother. And I went through, if you follow my stories, I went through you guys didn't know I was moving out of the country during that time, but you saw me going through a lot through my stories, through the transition of like getting my son in college and my other son with my brother. Some of y'all probably seen glimpses of me just in tears. It was a really tough transition when it came to my boys, because you got to think, at the beginning of this live, I talked about how we were homeless. Reese_production, my 15-year-old son now, was 1 years old when we were living in our car. We were living in a car. My other son was 5 years old. And so and my daughter is 3. And so I was a boy mom for 15 years before I became a girl mom. So my boys are all I know, and I don't have my boys. You talk about change. What? Now, the beautiful thing is, I've always been a single mother. My boys, we are like this. So it really don't matter how long I'm gone or where I am. They are in my heart. Like, I'm with them and they're with me. So sometimes we create our own stories, and we really complicate things and make things worse than what it really needs to be. Okay. So I just had to shout out my son for a second, y'all. I don't remember what I was saying, but okay. So yes, so 4 million people on the island, no crime. And if you know me, you know how important what I put in my body means to me. It means everything to me. I almost died. Most of y'all on here have never experienced a near-death experience ever. I almost died. Okay, like literally was sick for 3 months on a hospital bed. And so what I put in my body means everything to me. Everything to me. But in the States, it was either I'm slaving in the kitchen because my boys weren't plant-based. Me and my daughter plant-based, so I got to make food for them. I got to make food for me. Like, you got to make sure you go to a certain grocery. You got to go to the grocery store. That's a whole other task. You spending a ton of money during the process. So either I'm slaving in the kitchen, I can't get any work done, right? Or I'm spending thousands of dollars to eat out. Thousands. And the food don't even be that healthy. Okay? So you can go here to any restaurant. I was just showing y'all, if y'all just not joining me, there's a restaurant right here where I got a whole meal, healthy meal for $2. I got a smoothie over here for $1. And a fresh orange juice and pineapple juice, stuff that would cost $10 in the States or more to get. Okay, so that's one. That's two. And I said that the fruits had seeds in them, so that was another thing too. So I'll try to go to the locals. They do have markets where they have like some imports, but I try to go to the locals to get my fruit because a lot of those have seeds. Even the bananas have seeds. What's another reason? Oh, I love so my daughter goes to the green school. And so she is her best self in nature. Like, I got that download even before I had her. She is going to be her best self in nature. Right. And it's so funny that I got that download. I got 2 downloads before I had my daughter. One, she was going to be a picky eater. 2, she's going to be her best self in nature. And when I tell y'all, I have never known a pickier child when it came to food. And she plant-based, so you can just imagine how much of a struggle that was. So I'm not just cooking my boys something. I'm cooking me something, and I'm cooking her something different, right, when I am cooking. So, and then she's her best self in nature, and that has proven to be true on so many occasions. Like, anytime where she wasn't in a good mood, I tell people to take her outside. That is the secret to my daughter. My daughter, she don't really have tantrums. She is a good child. She's moody, but when she's not in a good mood, take her outside. Watch it change, and I mean instantly, right? So following that guidance, I knew that nature, in her school that she was at, she was going outside for 20 minutes 2 times a day. They told me every time she came in the house, she would cry. My daughter don't cry. She is not a crier. She is not a tantrum. She's 3. She hasn't had a terrible 2 or a terrible 3. None of my kids did, actually. So she's not a crier. When I take her to school, she don't cry. None of that ever, right? And so why is she crying every day? Every day. Every time they go outside for 20 minutes and then they come in the house, she's crying. She does not want to come inside the house. Inside the school, inside the building. Right? So I said, okay, well, let me look up this, like, where would she go to school? So as I'm processing this move, I'm like, well, where would she go to school at? And then, boom, the green school popped up. I don't even remember how the green school popped up, but it was one of the first schools that popped up. And I was like, oh, interesting. Different, but very interesting. So the campus, I don't know if y'all can see this. So this is how the campus is made. The campus is made out of bamboo. They have everything a normal school have. They have a gym. They have basketball. They have auditoriums. They have classes that are under these. Some are smaller. Some are bigger. They got a lot of stuff in nature. But what I love is that they learn life sustainable skills. One main things that stick out to me. Why is it that we have all the resources to grow our own food, but nobody grows their own food? So I had a garden, and it got bigger and bigger for 3 years. I started 3 years ago. And that's always been a passion for mine, but nobody told me. That was an acquired learning process experience on my journey, on my path. Nobody ever talked to me about that. But it's so easy to really do. Right? So I can go in my garden. I'm going to actually be posting more about that soon. But I can go in my garden. I can pick my tomatoes. I can get my zucchini. I can get my squash. I can get my peppers. I can get my berries. I can get, what else did I have? Okra, onions, like all of that. I had all of that. Everything. Right? And so Why we don't know how to do that? And so I thought it was such a bright idea to incorporate that in your curriculum. They learn how to survive in life, in real life. And they don't trap you in no building and try to create you to be an employee. Rockefeller knew exactly what he was doing. Our schools are built so that we can be employees, so that we can be powerless. So we have to depend on paying, pushing out money to get the things that we need, when we actually have the power to create a lot of this on our own, and we don't even know it. I thought it was amazing, right? They learn how to, so they have the normal math, science, they learn through play, so kind of like a Montessori kind of learning style. So they learn through play. They look at the kids and they honor the kids' true essence, and they allow that to guide their curriculum. Who would I have been if I had that? Because I'm a force. I am a force. But I had to learn my powers. But hi, how you doing?
How's it going?
It's going really good. It's going really good. But who did I have to? I had to work very hard to find who I was. Some of us are 30, 20s, 40s, 50s, 60s, and still don't know who we are. Why? Because it was shielded. You were put into a box. Think about that. Think about that. So I just thought it was just such a genius idea that it was in nature. I mean, they got everything, like their food. They don't even cook in a building. They cook outside. They got all this stuff to like sustain outside. They don't even need a house. They don't even need gas. Like, I just thought it was so bright. So I'm like, as I'm planning this, everything is aligning. And so I just gave you 3 reasons. I'm not going to keep you guys in long because I know it's getting late where you are. But I wanted to hop on here because a lot of people have been asking, like, okay, why did you choose Bali? One, Bali chose me. Let's get that straight, okay? And if you're just not joining me, I tell you why, how Bali chose me. Bali chose me 10 years ago before I even knew it was Bali that was choosing me, okay? But once I connected the dots, I followed my intuition. I followed my guidance, right? And I realized that I couldn't make this move because a lot of us think about things and we dream about things, but for some reason, there's a disconnect of actually being able to do it. Like, oh, I can't do that because of this. Or I can't do that because of this. It's limits, y'all. It's limiting beliefs that's killing us, that's destroying our quality of life, right? And so once I followed that, I started to discover all of these beautiful things, the things that my soul really wanted that I just didn't know because I was so busy working myself to near death. So that's why. That's three of the reasons why. Okay. There's more reasons too. There's more reasons that go with this, but I had you guys on here long enough. I hope you got some value. If you're just not joining, you want to go back, please go back and watch this live. Because for you, it may not be moving across the country. For you, it may be leaving your 9-to-5 job. For you, it may be leaving your business. For you, it may be leaving your relationship, releasing your relationship that's not serving you. You know, for you, it may be just creating something that's been in you that, when something is just on you, and doesn't disappear, like it won't go anywhere. You're being guided to do it. Maybe it's just igniting that light in you to help you just do it. I feel like we try to be perfect in everything we do, but really you should just be taking imperfect action every day. To me, like today, normally I would like to just be in a nice setting and, quiet and no interruptions and this and that on my lives. And I was trying to find a place to do it. I was like, oh man, I was in a really good spot. But then the kids started playing outside. So I was actually in the school. And the kids started playing outside and they got loud. I was like, okay, I can't do it there. And I went over here and it was like, okay, it was a little loud over there. And I was like, oh, I can't find a place. And I said, you know what? I came to my motorbike here, which I've never driven a motorbike. And if you are part of my subscription, you... The first day of this thing was an adventure, okay? It was an adventure. I've never driven a motorbike before. But what I love about it is that, well, a lot of people in Bali drive motorbikes. Speaking of that, this thing is $60 a rent and it's $5 to $10 to fill up per month for gas. Oh, what is the weather like? That's good. But to the point I was making before I answer that. So I couldn't find a place and I was looking for perfection. Just like we do. Just naturally, we trying to be perfect. And I said, forget it. Who cares? Let me hop on live. There's no setting. There's no quietness. There's no, stillness or anything. Like, it's not perfect. But I bet you I touched somebody on here. So stop using it as an excuse to hold yourself back. It doesn't have to be perfect, so if you go back and watch the live, your soul may be ignited, that light may be ignited to do something that has been on you for a very long time. And hopefully by me sharing my story, you would now feel like a little bit more courageous to do it and realize the power that you have to create the world that you actually want to live in. Okay, so the weather is beautiful. Okay, so that's another thing. That's another reason. Thank you for asking that. I just got tired of winters. I like sun. I like nature myself. I didn't always. You know what's funny? I used to hate nature. Who taught me to hate nature? Who taught me that? Somebody taught me that. Because my true essence loves nature. A lot of us do. When you go on vacation, you on the ocean and you see trees. What you say? Oh, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. It just makes you feel good. You connect instantly. Like you become one with it. If you got that type of feeling, nature is communicating with you and connecting with you. And you're creating synergy. That's why you got the feeling. Like, oh my God, I love it here. Right? So I really got tired of the winters, and that was a big change of like getting rid of all like my winter stuff. I sold that's another topic. I'm not even gonna go into it, what I have to do to get here. But it's between, like in the mornings, it's between 70 is the coldest it'll get. And that's in the mornings. So 70 in the morning, like every day I've been waking up recently, it's been like 73, 75. The highest average it'll be is like 85, 86, 87. Highest average. One day out of like 25, 26 days I've been here, it's been like 93. It was a pretty, hot day, but that wasn't even the day that got us. There was a day that was 87, but it was really, really humid. And it was only one day out of 27 days. And even my daughter tap out, and she don't tap out. She was like, oh, I'm tired, So the weather is good. They don't have winter and summer. They have dry season and wet season. And we're actually going into the wet season right now. So it's about to start from November to about February. It rains a lot. They say from October to February it rains a lot. So it's the end of October now. It's only rained one time since I've been here, but when it rains, it's not like it rains all day. It rains real good for about a good 2 hours, and then it stops, and then the sun comes out again. Okay. The cost of homes. Oh, somebody said something about snakes. You're gonna stay there forever? I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna stay here forever. So I have a visa. So when you come to Bali, you have to have a visa. They got 30-day visas, 60-day visas, 6-month visas, 2-year visas. So I have a 2-year business visa called the Kitas. And I'm just going to see. Everything is so uncertain. I don't, which is a beautiful place to be in for me because I'm used to things being so certain, right? But there's excitement in uncertainty. But I've lived this kind of like mundane life my whole life because I've been a workaholic, just lacking excitement, right? And so even though uncertainty is not, it could be the not so fun when you're not ready for that season. But for me, I've embraced the whole change, the whole season. And I just kind of, I honor it. So I don't know if I will be here forever. I'm not sure. I'll just see as I go. I could definitely see myself living here long term. As of now, I've only been here a month, but based on the things that my soul loves and enjoys, I could totally see it. What I'm curious to know is, like, if I visit the States, would I be like, oh, I miss the States? That's what I'm curious about. And I may not be going to the States until like June, so it'd be 9-10 months before I get to the States. I'm terrified of snakes. I haven't seen any snakes, but I'm sure snakes exist. I'm sure they exist out here. It's nature. So and you got some more nature like areas, and then you got some more like modernized areas. Cost of living for home, they range. You can get some, you can get some for the low. So for example, when I first got here, I stayed in a place for like 7 days until I found, because normally you don't get your place before you move there. You wait till you get there and then you look for a place. So I had a place for 7 days, and it was like $20 a month. But they were like, if you wanted to stay here for a month, you could spend $500 a month. It had a pool, it had a room, it had a kitchen, it had a bathroom. It was pretty nice, right? And so, but you can also find some things that are extremely expensive. So the beautiful thing about Bali is that they don't do credit checks or nothing like that. You don't have to sign a lease for a year or 2 years. You're not stuck anywhere. There's no stuck energy here in Bali. Okay. And so if you go to a place, you want to stay there for a week and you want to move. If you go there and you stay there for a month or 2 months or 3 months and you want to move. You're really free here in that regard. And so for me, right now, I'm in a place I wanted to be close to my daughter's school, but I also wanted to be close to the things that I knew and that I got acclimated with when I came to visit. So I'm like, it's like central. It's like in the middle. And it's a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom. It's $500. It's $500 right now for that. Kitchen. The shower is outside. The shower and the toilet is outside. The sink is inside. Big nice room. Nature. I have a papaya tree right in front of my house. I have no crime. 4 million people. 4 million. No crime. One of the top reasons why I came here. It feels good to not have to be like looking over your shoulder or just watching the news with all the crime and all the stuff going on. Like, you just, that feels really good. I'm gonna be honest with you. But I have a papaya tree in front of my house. I have a banana tree in front of my house. It's the family that owns it is so sweet and so nice. Like, my daughter is very reserved. Everybody she meets, you have an F. She like her mama, okay? You don't get an A when I meet you, okay? You got an F, and you got to work to an A, where most people are like, okay, you got an A, and if you do something, you got an F. That's not how we are. So she's like that, but I have a filter, and I know how to work it. She don't. She 3. So normally with people, she don't mess with people when she first meet them. It doesn't matter who you are. But this particular lady, like the wife that owns this little compound, so sweet. You know when somebody is so sweet. Like, even her laugh is so angelic, and my daughter just loves her. She was on the motorbike with her when we first went to go look at the house. She was like hugging her, like shit. I was like, sign. I will say let me not act like everything is 1000% peachy, right? I will say my only thing I do not like about where I live now, which I plan to move in January, but I like everything else about it so much. I don't know. The roosters. There's roosters nearby, and baby, I got to doing research on roosters, because of course you heard of roosters, but I'm like, what's the purpose of roosters? Why are they here? Like, what? Why? Why? Do they lay eggs? Like, I had to really start doing the research on this, right? Like, do roosters lay eggs? Okay, no. What do they do? What are they for? You know what I'm saying? And then I read that, ancient people, like, use them for, like, alarm clocks. Well, can we set an alarm clock to a certain time? Please. Please. Yeah. I just can't believe, like, the roosters be lit. They be lit. Okay? Like, what is wrong today? Like, I don't know. So I'm still trying to, it's not so bad that it makes me want to leave because I love everything else about it, right? And I'm trying to work around I'm trying to see, okay, is there a specific time that they're cockle-a-doodle-doodling, right? And I almost feel like it's consistent, but then every once in a while they give me a curveball. What happened? What did y'all see? What are y'all doing? Are you hungry? What's wrong? Okay, so that's the only thing about where I am right now. Them damn roosters. I got a whole new that's a deal. That's gonna be a deal breaker in the next home. Because the reason why it becomes a challenge for me with that, the reason why it becomes a challenge with me with the roosters is because I have to have silence. Like, I pray, I meditate, like I journal, and it could be a little interrupting, which I'm actually really good at blocking things out. I'm almost confident that 99% of you all on here it would have been a deal breaker. Like, okay, I'm gonna find another place. I can't do it. I block things out really, really good. I would say I learned this superpower when I was very young, growing up in a very dysfunctional home. Okay, so it's still serving me. All right. So I block things out real good, but when it comes to my meditation, like, I have to have silence, and my breath work, I have to have silence. And so that is the biggest challenge with me with that. And it's not a deal breaker right now. I'm still trying to, like, work through it. To work around and still trying to figure out, okay, do they have a schedule? I know they get the cock-a-doodle doing at 4 a.m. for sure. They'll be quiet because I've been working recently. Ever since my daughter has been to school, I've been working from 8, 9, 10, 11 p.m. They're silent, right? But then at midnight, they want to start cock-a-doodle-doing again, right? So, whereas I'm starting to calm things down, and I want to get into my breath work to help me just calm things down because I got these creative juices flowing and this adrenaline. And right when I want to calm down, they start cockle-a-doodle-doodling. Why are y'all here? And it's not just one, it's like several. It's some that's close to me, and then just some that's real, real far away. And they just I don't know if they be communicating with each other, because it's like, one to do it, and then the rest of them will do it. And then one to do it like a whole choir or something. That's the only thing. That's the only thing about where I am now. So, it's not a deal breaker right now. And I'm just like, okay, let me just, because it's very important that I become, acclimated and really still, because I'm still a mother, and I still have a business that I'm running from home, and so I have to have some type of stability, right? So I'm going to just kind of, continue on the path. And January is the plan to just kind of maybe start looking for something different. Maybe, I don't know. I'm kind of in this place where I said I'm in a place of uncertainty, like a lot of uncertainty, but I'm okay with that. In the past, I wouldn't have been okay with that, but I'm okay with that right now. And it's like, I don't want to plan. I really don't want to do a lot of planning. I plan a lot for my business already. I don't want to do a whole bunch of planning. So let me just kind of go with the flow and see where my heart takes me, right? So that's it, y'all. So I'm about to hop on my moped here. They were looking at me earlier like, can you move so we can sweep? So I'm leaving my daughter's school, and so hopefully you guys got a lot of value from it. I'm sure we'll be talking about this more in the future. You guys will see some content on it. But thank you Danny Manley. I think you one of my subscribed family members also. So we're gonna next week. I got some questions I'm gonna be asking you guys so I can help start developing some workshop classes, lives, and stuff like that. We'll join them. Maybe they should have. Oh, I'm just here because I heard there was a lady with my name. What? Yes. So TikTok. That is so funny. So I think you have a sister on TikTok. And she was like, is your real name Abra? And I was like, yes. And she was like, I have a sister named Abra. And I was like, that is so crazy because I never met another person named Abra. So Abra_Barnes. What in the world? What a pleasure to meet another Abra. You must be very, 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 very special. So make sure you message me because I'm just so curious to know where you are, where you're located. And I don't know, like, why wouldn't I talk to someone that's named Abra, right? So definitely message me. Let's start a conversation. How do you join the subscription? It's very, let me show you guys how to do that real quick, and then I'll end this call. I'm grabbing my other phone here. So on my profile page, oh, hold on. On my profile page, and I'm going to go to one of my other pages so you can see as if, okay, so this is my profile page here. And so there's two circles here. One says welcome, one says exclusive. If you click on the exclusive one, it says subscribe to see exclusive content, and you can subscribe. It's $9.99. It's $500 to book a consultation with me, like, you know, one-on-one, right? And so a lot of this information I'm going to be talking about in my subscription, I talk about on my consultation call. So I think it's a steal. Especially if you feel like you're stuck. Having that stuck energy, it just doesn't feel good. If you want something different, if you want to transform, if you want to be better, you want to look better, you want to feel better, you want to make some changes in your health, you want to, kind of develop some strategies to help, like, reduce or eliminate your stress. Like, that is my life. That is what I'm about. I'm really like a holistic health coach, honestly. I'm a cosmetologist by trade and an American Medical Certified Association trichologist by license. But I'm also a holistic health coach. I tie health into hair because there is no hair without some type of decent health, right? So okay, thank you guys so much. Peace, love, and blessings. If you're just joining, I will be posting live on the page. Go back and watch it. Till next time, have a great evening, because it's evening where you are. It's 10 a.m. here. So depending on where you are, it's probably either 7 p.m., 9 p.m., or 10 p.m. Have you met any other from America that now reside there? Yes, I've met a lot of people from America. There are a lot of people, we call them expats, who move here from all over. I've met people from all over. This is a very resourceful place. And everybody's really, really nice. And everybody's aligned and on the same, frequency. Right? And so you just connect with everybody. Like stress where? Why would we be stressing? Right? So that's like the whole vibe. That's like the whole energy here. So, all right. Bye, everybody. Till next time.